So a lot of people have been wondering, why is Scott from Power Rangers RPM my favorite Red Ranger of all time? I'm finna explain everything in this video. Let's get into it. So, if you didn't know, now you know. Scott is my favorite Red Ranger of all time. I think he's the best Red Ranger in Power Rangers, and I think he's the best leader in Power Rangers. One thing about Scott that locked me in and really put him on a high pedestal is his story, his background, how he came up. First of all, Scott was raised as a military kid, you might as well say. His father's the general, he was brought up in all that military stuff. Specifically in like the Air Force faction. And by his side the entire time, he had his older brother Marcus. Now, Scott loved and admired his older brother, but there was one thing about him. Marcus was their dad's favorite. They made that very clear. And that bothered Scott because it came to a point where it felt like no matter what he did or how hard he tried, he would never live up to his father's expectations because, you know, he's not like his brother. Scott always lived in Marcus's shadow, point blank period. And I just love how that is shown throughout RPM that does bother Scott. Like, all Scott wants is his father's acknowledgement, his admiration, to be praised by his dad. There's one moment in RPM where Scott wants to go on a solo mission outside of the dome to retrieve something, and Scott's father is flat out telling him, you can't do it, you ain't built for it, this ain't your kind of mission. Scott's dad really just ain't believe in him. But then we find out that Marcus believed in Scott the entire time. Marcus knew Scott had that dog in him because their dad wanted Marcus to find someone that could be second in command, you know, lead the forces with him, and he was naming everybody else but Scott. In that red envelope, Marcus wrote Scott's name. Oh, and did I mention Scott also seen his brother die, like right in front of his face? And I also love the moment where, while Scott is gaining the recognition and admiration from his father that he always wanted, but because he didn't feel like he deserved it, he turned it down. He wanted to get that acknowledgement when he felt like he actually deserved it, and I love that. And like I said, Scott is a great leader. I love the way he leads his team, gang. Like, Scott is that kind of leader where he lets his team know he's the head honcho, he calls the shots, he makes the plays, he's gonna make sure all that happens, but he's also the leader that knows when to follow. If Scott feels like there's something going on that he's not that well versed in, but his teammates are, he'll listen to them and let them take control. Or he'll just flat out trust their instincts over his own. Man, Scott is one hell of a character, bro. I love everything about him. This is my favorite Red Ranger of all time.